Welcome to Nourished Stories from the Table. I'm Mel, and I'm so glad you're here. There's something special that happens when we gather around a table. We slow down, we share a meal, we laugh, we sometimes cry, we tell stories we've never told before. Food has a remarkable way of connecting us because of the memories, people, and moments that come with it. Each week, I'll be inviting someone to my table. Together, we'll uncover the stories that have shaped who they are. We'll talk about childhood memories, family traditions, life's unexpected twists, the meals they'll never forget, and the people who change them along the way. Food is the thread that weaves every story together. So pour yourself a cup of tea, pour a glass of wine, or pull up a chair. I'm so glad you've joined us. Today's guest has a story that begins with a contradiction. As a little girl, Steph was an incredibly fussy eater. But every time she travelled with her dad, something changed. Her curiosity came alive. She wanted to taste what the locals were eating, wander through markets, and discover flavours she'd never experienced before. It was travel that taught her to love food. Summers spent cooking with her grandma, Mamina, in Valdivia, planted the seed for what would become a lifelong passion. As a teenager, Steph discovered Japanese cuisine before moving to California to study at culinary school in San Francisco. After 13 years in the United States, life brought her back home to southern Chile. Today, she and her dad run a beautiful lodge where hospitality is at the heart of everything they do, and much of the seafood they serve is caught just meters from their doorstep. Steph believes food is about so much more than what's on the plate. And it's about discovering a place through its flavours, its people, and the stories shared around a table. Okay, so today I'd like to introduce you to Steph. Steph, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me, Mel. Glad to join
Oh, thank
your
you
your podcast.
well, so glad you're here. So let's get the ball rolling. And can you
Sure.
tell me where you are in the world today? Where do we find you?
I'm in the south of Chile right now, near a city called Valdivia, which is mostly well known. I'm in the comuna of Corral, in a specific location called Huiro, which is like a village, like a
Beautiful.
fisherman's village. Yeah. I'm right by the ocean, but also in the middle of the Valdivian rainforest. So it's a very specific ecosystem that we have over here.
Yeah, I did a bit of research, and the forest is quite ancient forest. Can you tell me a little bit more about the ecosystem that's down there?
Yes, yes. So we have here in this. If you look in the map, there's like a big green area that says Reserva Costera, like a reservoir. It's run by the TNC, the Nature Conservancy. It gets to touch two different regions of Chile, of the south of Chile, and we have in this rainforest we have the two oldest trees in the world, which are a type
Wow.
of alerce. Yeah. And the one that
Cool.
it's closer to my place, it's 2,210 years old.
Oh, a tree.
Um,
It's 2000.
yes,
Wow.
yes. And I've seen it. I've seen it twice. It takes 10 to 11 people holding hands to like go around it. It's
It's incredible.
really breathtaking because the way to get there, you go on this hike that it's like the whole hike is about 4 hours, and it takes you about 2 hours to get to the tree. And while you're hiking on your way to the tree, and depending on the time of the year, like last time I went, it was middle of mushroom season. So we found all these amazing, amazing types of mushrooms, like hanging from different trees, and we foraged some of them. There's one that smells like
Oh,
amaretto.
oh
Like this,
wow.
it's called gargal. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it because I hadn't had that mushroom in like 20 years. So I had pretty much forgotten about how intense the smell, the scent can be. Right as soon as we hit the road, there was this big coiwe. It grows on coiwe trees, and it was like a big like bouquet of this
Wow.
white layers. And then we hit it. It was really high up there. We hit it with a stick, It fell, and it was just like explosion, like if a bottle of amaretto had burst right in front of us. It was insane,
Wow. And
insane.
can
And
you
then
eat, you
we
can
saw
eat
more.
that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's delicious. You don't need to put like anything in there. Like I mean, you can put a little bit of
Wow.
salt, but I rather eat it just like that, grill side side.
Incredible.
Yeah, we got
Incredible.
about 5 kilos of it.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
bumper crop.
we were so lucky. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So can you tell me a bit about the lodge and what you're doing down there? And the name of the lodge?
The name of the lodge, it's Huiro Lodge. It takes the name from the location that we were in. Huiro, it's spelled Huiro.
I was
That
wondering on
name,
how to pronounce it actually.
well, yeah, the old name, the old way to write that name was with a W, because it came from the Mapuche, the Mapudungun language, and they didn't really have H's there; they had W's.
Right.
So Huiro. Well, I have also another company that I'm opening, and that one is called Wild Widow, spelled the old way, so two W's. But this one is Widow Lodge, and that's the name for the seaweed that grows vastly all over the coast. It's just a lot of this seaweed. Well, right now with the stronger tide, it's been kind of like washed off, but that's the name that the place
Right.
comes from. And my father created this many years ago. My father has been in the hospitality business forever, and he was doing like teaching. He was doing seminars and classes
Wow.
in different parts of the world. And then he figured out that when he grew older, he would want to retire not in a retirement home. He wanted to retire in a resort. And he was like,
That
well,
sounds
I'm going to
that
have,
sounds great.
I know, I mean, genius, what?
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm going to build my own resort, and I'm going to build it in the south of Chile where I'm from. So he's from San Jose de la Mariquina, which is a little bit north of Valdivia, closer to where the airport is.
Hmm.
He built it, and then he started it in 2000. He got the land in 2015, started building in 2018, opened up in late 2019, and I don't know
Okay.
if you know what happened in Chile late 2019 before the pandemic. We had this
No.
estallido social, the social turmoil
Oh yes,
that,
actually, yes. I do
yes.
know about that.
Okay, so when that happened, the whole country was under curfew for a few months, and then the pandemic hit, so then we were again in curfew this entire time. I was in California for 13 years, so like my dad was running
Yeah.
this on his own. um, and then the years went by, and he was like, why don't you come over, why don't you just
Right.
move back, I'll give you,
Yeah.
you have a place here. So after several years being in California, I decided to move back here, and I moved back here in 2023.
Right. And
Yes.
from what I can see on your website, the food that you cook there is very much local produce. The
Yeah.
fish is caught from the ocean right in front of the lodge. Can you tell me
Yeah.
more about the food that you're using there at the
Yeah,
lodge?
absolutely. So I never serve chicken, beef, pork, turkey, or anything like that. We only serve fish, seafood, seaweed, and veggies.
Yeah, great.
Because, well, it really caught my attention when I moved here. When I got here, the menu was different. My dad had like this whole other thing that it was pasta, goulash, and I'm like, are you really gonna,
Yeah.
like, why are we serving
Yeah.
goulash to Europeans? Like, that's not what they came
They want
for.
something different to what they used to at
Right,
home, right?
right. So I noticed that in California, when I lived there, I worked at a fish shop. I worked there for about a year and a half while I was getting my degree in culinary school, and I really loved it there. And the fish shop was like fancy. Everything was really pricey. Like, to say a piece of salmon, the Ora King salmon, the pound, so half a kilo, less than half a kilo, was like $28.
Wow.
I
That is
Yeah,
expensive.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the least expensive item in the shop were mussels, and that was like $10 a pound.
Okay.
$10 for half a kilo, and I'm like, I get the kilo here for Luca for 1,000
Yeah.
pesos. Like I
So around $1 American, right?
right. So because I was so exposed to having all this food here that I was in charge of cooking there too, not only selling the food, but I was in charge of like standardizing recipes and creating recipes
Hmm.
with everything that we had. I figured, well, all these things, I have them in Chile. I have better
Mm.
salmon, I have better mussels, I have better clams, I have like everything is I have much better crabs than those Dungeness crabs that taste like nothing. You
Yeah.
know, so I was like all the time thinking like, okay, when I move back to Chile, I'm gonna like apply all this knowledge into this. And then I moved here, and that's the most available things we have. And I couldn't really understand why people would be like, go through all the trouble of getting out of here to go to the nearest town, which is Valdivia. It takes about an hour and a half to get there. You have to take a ferry to go get chicken chicken
Yeah.
nuggets and feed their kids chicken and pasta. And I'm like, why are people
It doesn't make
buying
sense.
meat that comes from the States or from Argentina?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have
Look at all
amazing
this we have in
seafood.
front of us. It's like
Look at all
incredible.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I made it a statement that we do not serve any other thing that other than products either collected by us from the shore or brought to us by the local fishermen, which I
Wow.
specifically work with the only female fisherman in the union here. There's
Wow.
each fisherman has to belong to a union in order for them to actually fish and sell that fish. And
Hmm.
she's the only female there, Olivia. So I buy
Wow.
from her.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Working with the
Yeah.
women.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Well, that's really incredible. Yeah, I would, as I said before, I would love to come down because seafood's probably one of my most favorite protein, fish and seafood. So that's really incredible what you're doing down there, and I'm sure it's really well received by your guests
Oh
at
yeah.
the lodge.
Hmm.
Great.
Yeah, the guests love it. Even Chilean guests, like they come from Santiago, and for them salmon is super expensive, or any fish is super
Mm,
expensive too, and it
it
comes
is.
frozen or from God knows where. And
Yeah.
here I'm no, like Olivia calls me from the boat. Like she calls me from the boat, and she's like, "Hey, Steffi, I have this," and she sends me a photo of the boat, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I want that one, that one, that one, that one."
That's great. So with all that produce and the seafood you get, so as you said, your fisherwoman will send you a photo, and do you then decide what you're going to make on the day or for the week? Is that how you sort of work in the kitchen there?
So it depends on the season. So, for
Yeah.
instance, if it's high season, which we have, a much higher occupancy rate, I'm selling more dinners because dinner is not included with the dome. We
Sure.
usually include breakfast, but people
Hmm.
can opt in or out of dinner or lunch. So if I check on the occupancy rate that I have for the upcoming weeks, and I know, okay, within like a week or a week and a half, something like that. So I know,
Yeah.
okay, I have this, I have more of this. I'm gonna have push this more over here. Sometimes, if I get it fresh from the same day that I'm serving dinner, and I have time to butcher the fish on time for because I get it the whole fish and then I butcher it
Yeah.
myself
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
do the whole stuff, which I love. That's my favorite part.
Oh, really?
Um, oh yeah.
You can
Oh my
do
God.
you can do that for
That
me.
relaxes me. That relaxes
Okay.
me.
Does
And
it?
yeah. So if it's cod of the day, then I will do my best to serve it the same day. But some preparations, like when I do gravlax, for instance, the gravlax
Mm,
needs a few,
yeah.
days in order
Few
to
days.
get better and better. I do it with beets, so it gets like
Oh, I love
hot
that.
pink,
Yeah.
hot pink,
Yeah.
horseradish, lemon zest, fresh dill. It's so hard to get fresh
Beautiful.
dill in Chile,
Oh, it is the bane of my existence. I've been
right?
looking at buying dill seeds, so I'm going to grow it myself this
Yeah,
spring
yeah,
and
you have to
summer.
grow it
I just
yourself.
I can't find it anywhere, and I make Gravlax myself. My Finnish mother-in-law taught me how to make gravlax, and I do it every Christmas now. And
Oh, amazing.
I was just thinking, this Christmas, how am I going to make my gravlax without dill? I'm not using the dried stuff. Like you can get the dried stuff, but it needs
Yeah.
to be fresher.
No, it needs to be fresh.
Yeah,
It has to be
yeah,
fresh. Yes. No,
yeah.
luckily I found this farm in Valdivia that they grow it and they grow
Ah,
amazing fresh dill. So I
heaven.
stocked up. I found the best ways to preserve it, and I still have a little bit in the freezer that it's not
Oh, it's like
black
gold.
or it's not bruised or anything. So yes,
Very precious.
yes, yes. Don't touch my dill. Yes,
No, 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 no. That'd be one of your rules, I think.
yes.
All right. So one of the questions that we ask here on the podcast is, tell me what started you on your food journey. Where's your inspiration come from?
My grandmother.
I
My
love that.
grandma. Yeah, my grandma mainly from my dad's side. Well, my grandma on my mom's side was also a great cook, and she had all these hidden recipes that every now and then I would be like, "Well, this is from her. Wow!" But I have the memories of visiting my grandma here in Niebla, which is the beach town closer to Valdivia, and that she also had a lodging business there, and she also had a
Okay.
restaurant. When I was a little girl, I always said like, oh my god, when I grow up, I want to be like her. I want to have my lodging
Oh,
business and
that's
serve food to
beautiful.
people and like host people. So I'm careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
um
it might come true.
yeah, so I would see that, and I remember entering her house and all the scents, all the things that you could have, like garlic and oregano and
Mm.
molasses and firewood all together, and it made this like amazing scent that it was just like all over me, and that just stuck with me. So I was very picky also as a kid,
Yes,
but I ate everything that she made.
that's beautiful.
Like I had no questions, and I would actually crave her things. In every summer for the first 20 years of my life, I went to her house, and as young as 7, I started staying there the entire 3 months of summer.
Yeah.
My parents would just leave me there, and I would help her, cleaning toilets, making beds, welcoming hosts, making pisco sours when I was like 12.
Oh, well,
Yeah, 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 completely illegal, but hey,
completely illegal, but hey, it was a
right,
long time ago.
right. And then, well,
Did you ever taste them?
oh, yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. There will always be, because I would make good pisco sours, but my math, like my bartending math, was not developed
The
yet. So there
ratios
was
or
always a little extra in the shaker, and I'll be like, whoop, whoop, and then, yep. Yeah, same for Christmas. Christmas too. I'll be like, what is this ponche? Oh,
no. Have a little
did you
try
try
of that.
cola de mono? Did you try cola
No,
de mono?
not yet. No. What is that?
Oh my god, it's like eggnog but with coffee.
Oh, I love coffee.
Oh my
I will
god,
love that.
you have got to try that. Eggnog here is
Okay.
called rompon. It's called
Rapon.
rompon, yeah. But at least in the south of Chile, I don't know what
Okay.
Santiago calls it. But cola de mono, like that's the signature of Chilean Christmas. A bottle of cola de mono and a pan de Pascua, like the Christmas cake, like a
Cake.
panettone, like Chilean
Oh, yeah.
panettone. That it's very
Oh,
dark
wow.
and kind of like sticky because it has like,
Mm.
and with the, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
I'm looking forward to that at Christmas then.
My main inspiration, but I gotta give credit to my mom and my dad too, because growing up,
Yeah.
I would I I realized kind of like when I was a teenager that I was really really lucky to have the parents that I have that cook so well, because like my memories of the evenings in Santiago, in our apartment in Santiago, it's like this like warm dim light in the apartment in Providencia,
Mm.
the sound of Wilson Pickett or Otis Redding in the
Oh,
radio, The smell
That
of
sounds good.
garlic starting to be, sauteed for
Mm,
some pomodoro sauce, and the smell of the pasta cooking, and that just like all these, the warmth, the colors, the sounds, the scents. It was, and then I would be presented with this amazing plate, and I would be, sometimes I would think like, what, does everyone eat like this? Like, do
no,
my
no, absolutely
classmates,
not.
like, what's the dinner time situation for my classmates? God, I'm lucky. Like, I
You
have
were
great
very
cooks.
lucky.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's a
yeah,
beautiful inspiration, your grandparents and your parents. So
yeah.
then, as we spoke about earlier, you went up to California to culinary school. How was that? How was that experience?
Well, I didn't go for that. I ended up
Oh, okay.
doing that. I
Right.
went to California because I met a gringo in Chile.
Ah, a
And
guy.
a guy. We met in Chile. We hit it off for, well, first he was supposed to stay for 3 weeks. He loved it here. He ended up staying for 3 months. We started this long distance relationship. And then about a year later, I went to visit him in California. And when I was there, we decided to get married. I kind of asked him if he would marry me because
Good on you.
he, he was the love of my visa. So,
Love of
you
my
know,
visa.
yes, that
That's
was the
brilliant.
whole thing. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Like, your family and you totally took care of me when I was in Chile for that time. And then I know that this would be very beneficial to you when we were already kind of like into a relationship. So, yeah, sure, let's do it. And
Wow.
60 days from that, we were getting married at City Hall of San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when
Beautiful.
I, yeah, and I was there just like living the married life while getting my paperwork, because it's not like, oh, you married to a gringo, boom, you have a green card. I was getting a little bored. I was doing gigs, like bartending gigs here and there,
Yep.
um, just like, putting out flyers for restaurants, stuff like that.
Were you
And
making pisco
then
sours for people?
I was making pisco sours for gringos during the holidays. Yes.
Nice.
And then a few months went by, and summer was in, so I had a lot of free time in my hands, and so I was cooking.
Hmm.
Like, I was the epitome of the trad wife. Now that it's like
Oh,
really, really
it's
like
on trend now.
into, yeah, very trendy. I was doing that 15 years ago for
You're
my
the
for my
OG.
papers. Yeah. So I was creating all this stuff, and then one day I got this thing from City College of San Francisco that it's like, join the summer, like summer school is in session. There was a introduction to hospitality class that was 2 days a week. Sounds like something I could do. So I joined the program, I joined the class, and soon enough, Miss Barbara was like, hey, you could teach this class, right? Like, what are you doing here? Are you joining the entire
Interesting.
program? It was culinary arts, food service management, and hotel management. And she was like, you need to do all three. So I first did the culinary arts program, and it was so much fun. Oh my God, my best
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
My best years. Yeah, that
When
was.
I find when you're into food and into cooking, when you do something like that, it's like you're geeking out. Everyone in the
Yes.
class is the same as you, right? Like everyone loves food. Everyone likes to talk about food, cook food,
Yeah.
listen to things about food. I went to culinary school last year in Italy, and it was just like nerdy. We all nerded out over
Yeah.
food. So yeah, you would have been in your element.
And it's not only that, because it's not only the food itself, but it's like the chemistry behind it,
Yeah.
the physics of the method you use, the
Yep.
nutritional aspect of what you're doing,
Hmm.
the microbiology aspect of that was, I almost changed careers when I took that class with Dr.
Oh, really?
Toby, because that was so fascinating. I mean, well, I had great teachers too, but I had this
Mm.
microbiology teacher, Dr. Carol Toby. She was, oh my God, she loved bugs and parasites and all that stuff. So in the States, they have the CDC, the Center for
Yep.
Disease Control, and they
Yep.
have what's called the germ packet. And the germ packet, it's a manual that has all parasites, viruses, bacteria, anything that can contaminate food, pathogens, and their classifications, their pictures, and all that. And she made us learn the entire germ packet, and
Fascinating. Wow.
oh my God, for Halloween, she would give us extra points if we came up dressed as Cyclospora or Salmonella. I dressed as Salmonella. I was all white because I was egg white. And I was making a point that Salmonella is present in the egg white and not
Yes.
in the yolk, so that people needed to become aware that don't touch me. I might kill
Yes.
you.
Don't
You
touch me
know.
and don't cross contaminate.
Exactly. Exactly. It was really fun
Wow,
to
that's
see like a
fascinating.
couple of, geek culinary students dressed as this weird stuff. Well, the entire school was dressed up for Halloween, but we were like, what the hell are you? Oh my
Great.
God. It was,
So
yeah.
how long were you in California? In San Francisco for?
13 years.
13 years.
13 years. I came with money and clothes for 3 weeks, and I stayed for 13 years after I got married.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Yes.
So then, okay, so then you were called back home.
Yes, so I mean, I came to visit a few times. I came again when they started building, and I saw parts of the stages of this project being built. And then in 2021, well, in between, I separated from the love of my visa in like
Okay.
2015. And then I started dating a classmate who was a Peruvian chef. So that was very distracting and attracting and interesting, and an endless fountain of learning was to
Yeah.
date that man, because he would make incredible things with
Peruvian food's incredible.
insane. Also he was 9 years younger than me. So I was kind of like
Okay.
enjoying my time. Yeah. We split up and I was doing my own thing. And then the pandemic hit. And I was on the verge of opening up a restaurant at UC Berkeley. We were relaunching the main restaurant of the University of California, Berkeley, that
Right.
was working in the 80s. And then it was like very iconic, and we were like revamping the whole thing. It was closed for like 20 years. And then we were set to open on April 1st. And then March 15th, we were all sent home for 2 weeks.
Right. And as we all know, 2 weeks in the pandemic turned into a lot longer
Years.
than 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So I had to do a slight career switch. I was living in California. I was living in Berkeley. I moved from San Francisco to Berkeley. And a friend of mine, well, I had many jobs. And one of those jobs was a soccer instructor. Actually, I'm wearing the hoodie. I was Coach Steph
Coach Steph.
for
Love
girls leading girls. So
Oh, wow.
this is a company for doing soccer classes leadership skills through soccer for girls, from
Okay.
women to girls. So we're all women, and I had never played football before.
Yeah.
So someone found me through LinkedIn, and I was working with them for a while. So I had experience working with children. Some parents had gotten together, and they wanted their kids not to be attending school on a computer on their own in their homes. They wanted to make a pod. So one of the moms, Andrea, she was from Australia, from Perth. And she had the biggest house and the biggest garage and the biggest ideas. Like, she was the mastermind behind this entire
Right.
project, and she was like coordinating with all the kids and the school and all that. So Monday through Friday, 10 to 3, to assist the kids while they're on their meetings on their Chromebooks. So I started doing that for the whole year, academic year 2021 to 2022. I did it, and then I liked it so much that I opened my own summer camp.
Oh, wow.
With the same kids, and they really loved me too, so they also told their little friends. And so before I knew it, I had a summer camp with 12 kids, and I was having them in my house, teaching them. I was like, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to teach them how to cook. Okay. So we were making
Perfect.
like tie-dye pasta, or like
Oh, that's fun.
oh yeah, it was really really fun. When we were doing the pod in like science class, when we were going through the cycles of life, so when they needed to see bones, like learn about bones, I bought a chicken, a whole chicken,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
butchered it, and I showed them the bones and the little parts, and then we cooked the chicken and we ate it. Then when we were teaching about molting, I talked to my friend who was a Japanese chef across the street, and I'm like, hey, can I buy some soft shell crabs from you? So I brought 4 or 5 soft shell crabs, and I showed them, all that, and then we, battered them, fried them, ate them, boom. They couldn't believe it. We had some very picky kids, and I remember one of them saying like, "This is the best food I've ever had," and she was eating soft shell crabs, and I'm like, "I need a
Ah,
picture for your dad."
then how did that transition happen to you after you did those incredible classes with the kids to head back home?
Well, in between that time, late 2021, my father found out that he had cancer,
Okay.
and he had to go through surgery. Like they let me know in November 2021, and he had to go to surgery on January 2022. When I went back to California after that specific trip, I realized that I needed to go back. And I told them,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know for how much longer am I going to be here in California, but I have to go be with my family. I have to be with my dad, and I have to run that business. And
Yeah.
they were all super supportive. And so that transition was pretty smooth. And then at the end, when I actually had to move here, it was pretty sad. Everybody was crying,
Yeah, of
bawling,
course.
like
Of
the
course you
kids.
would like
Some
Okay, so I'm going to get on to some more of our questions.
okay.
Um, can you tell me of a certain dish that has made you extremely proud? A dish that you've made that you thought this is it.
This is it. I have a
Mm.
very simple one, but it's a showstopper every time I do it. It's a pasta. It's fresh pasta, ideally
Mm.
pappardelle. I like
Oh,
wider
I
pasta,
love
wider
pappardelle.
noodles
So do I.
with crab. With crab. The
Oh.
crab, the
Mm.
crab is so we get fresh crabs here live. Cook them, wait them for a cool off, and then take all the meat from the legs, from the insides, all this. So I have the lump crab meat, and in a pan I put a little bit of butter because butter is better. uh
Absolutely.
yes. Then I put the crab, and I put a little bit of white wine. Okay, just let the alcohol evaporate. Then put a little bit of lemon zest, 2 sprigs of thyme.
Mm.
Okay, stir, stir, nice and juicy, all that. Alcohol's off. Finish with a dash of cream
Mm.
and diced tomato. This is my summer dish here.
Oh.
Diced tomato, diced fresh tomato. So you mix it all up there, and then you turn the heat off and serve it as is, and then serve it with like two, crab
Little claws.
claws. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds
Um,
incredible.
that is,
That's your signature
I
dish?
that's my signature dish for here for the
Mm.
summer.
The
My
summer.
as my own personal ones is soups, Japanese
Oops.
soups, clear broths, clear noodles,
Mm.
seaweed. But that's like what I do for very special occasions because I take my
Yeah.
time making a very
Yeah.
clear, savory broth. That it's not
Where,
cloudy at all. It's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where did your interest in Japanese cooking come from?
When I was still living with my parents, but I was not in school, like high school, I was still going out for parties while living with my parents. when I came back home after parties at around 3, 4 in the morning, I would turn on the TV and there was this Argentinian channel called El Gourmet, which is still on in the TV. And there was this Japanese chef called Iwao Komiyama. And he would make all these amazing soups that looked so good for the hangover that was gonna have the next day. So I kept on, paying attention to this.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I think I can get some of that seaweed that he's showing there. I think I can. And back then in Santiago, like this was the 90s, the only Japanese ingredients that you could get was in Patronato. And that was a neighborhood known for Asian stuff and cheap clothes that you could get, like.
And they had the seaweed.
Kids. And they had the Asi Market. That was the name of that. Asi Market. And I would buy MSG, Ajinomoto, rice noodles, vermicelli noodles, nori sheets, wasabi, like all that stuff. And then I would get home and my parents were like, what the hell is all this? And I'm like, you wait.
All right. If you could go anywhere right now for dinner, anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I would go have sushi in Japan.
I thought that might be the case.
I would definitely go to have sushi and ramen at somewhere in Japan, like a dive place that you go after being like partying hard, and that's exactly what you need. I wouldn't go to a fancy place or something. I would be like, give me the real stuff. Yeah.
I much prefer street food and street vendors. I find their flavors are so much more authentic, and there's always a story behind it. Yeah, that's a good answer. I wouldn't mind that myself.
Yeah, and also probably now that you say like street food, the street markets in Singapore. Did you watch that movie Crazy Rich Asians?
I have not. I'm probably the only person in the world that hasn't watched it.
Watch it, and just the sequence of when they're eating in the streets of Singapore, that alone, I'm like, yep, I'm sold.
Yeah. I've actually been. We went to Singapore a few years ago with the kids on route to Europe, and we stopped into some of those. They sort of, it's kind of like a little mini mall, and they've got all the different vendors, and it's just the smells. Oh my goodness, foodie heaven. Yeah.
So jelly.
I recommend.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, paint a picture of your ideal dinner party.
Ooh. Okay. Lights are dim. The temperature is nice and warm. It's in the fall.
Okay.
It's in the fall or in the winter. Okay. There's the nice china is out.
Oh, nice.
Okay. There's some I'm getting kind of like a Thanksgiving vibe-ish. People are relaxed. They're not super fancy dress. They are comfortable. The music is like not super classy, like not too old, but not too young. Okay. And we're serving family style.
I love family style. All the food in the middle of the table, right?
Yeah, all food in the middle, and different stations.
Yeah.
Different stations are so that people can, they don't have to cluster, and people can eat at whatever time they want. It doesn't have to be a sit-down dinner that everyone has to follow, and then there's a bunch of dishes to be picked up at the same time.
Yeah.
I want a more fluent thing where people are hanging out. Maybe some kids are running around there. Not mine. Not. But someone else's kids are not running. Let me rephrase that. Not running, but carefully passing through the living room and areas. Yes, behind. Sharp. Hot.
Corner.
Yes.
Corner.
Yeah. So, and then this is happening in a place where the kitchen is open. There's like an island in the middle, so some people can hang out in the kitchen eating and trying some things. Or some people are in the living room, some people are outside, some people are by the fireplace. And we have a big, fantastic, powerful dishwasher that
Ah,
we just put everything in there. And nobody really cares about cleaning up because it is
ah,
somehow magically being cleaned up by minions or
that
someone
sounds that
magical,
sounds like my heaven.
right? And there's the open bar that has
Ah,
everything that
most
you want to
important.
drink, from gin and tonics to Negronis to margaritas
Yeah.
to non-alcoholic beer to ginger beer to whatever,
It sounds
and
like
a
it's
table
a
of
beautiful
sweets.
night.
You
Mm.
see, so and your sweets have to have something with chocolate, something with citrus, something with caramel, and something with like an exotic flavor that can be coconut, mango, pineapple, or something like
Mm.
that. And textures. Textures. I
Okay.
want something creamy. I want something fudgy. I want something crunchy.
Crunchy. Mm.
Yes. Yes.
I like a crunch in a
And
dessert.
yes,
That
that
sounds
would
like a
be kind of
lovely.
like my thing. Oh, oh, oh,
That's
oh, and a
oh
big cheese board. And a big cheese
oh
board.
yeah.
Yes.
Cheeses.
I mean, like a door, not a board, a
Yeah.
door. A door full of
Everyone's so
cheese
excited. Just bring it in.
and gravlax and charcuterie and
Yeah.
all that. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, when you're hosting that dinner party, if you would like to invite me, I would happily come because that sounds like the ideal dinner party to me.
You can count on it. Absolutely.
Wonderful. That brings me on to we were talking about music. When you're in the kitchen, what are you listening to? What's your go-to?
Uh, Depends on who am I cooking for and sometimes what I'm cooking. But most of the times, when I'm cooking for guests here at the lodge, I go to Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding, all that. That brings me the memories
Nice.
of me having dinner at my parents' house when I was
Beautiful.
growing up. When I'm cooking for myself, if it's the morning, well, sometimes I'm listening to a podcast or something, but I do like to um, listen to things that it's kind of like I'm getting in the mood for going out to a party, but I'm definitely not going out.
All right, on to the next question. Do you have any rules in your kitchen? Most chefs do, but I'd like to know what yours are.
First, ask me for permission to
Hmm.
come in, and
That's a big
you
one,
know,
isn't it?
yeah, ask me for permission. No kids running around because
Hmm.
I do have islands in both of the kitchens that we have here. And sometimes I'm cooking for guests and they have kids and the kids are like going around and like I don't want to scold the kid,
No.
but also I don't want to hurt the kid.
Mm.
So I try to make
Yeah.
that very
Yeah.
clear. And then the rules, there's always have to be music. I
Great.
need
I
to
love that.
have music where for prepping, serving, and cleaning up.
Hmm.
Um, you clean as you go.
Hmm. That's a good rule.
Clean as you go. And well, you have to leave it better than what you found it. If I'm letting you coming into my kitchen
Exactly.
and you're gonna cook in it, like on it, and you're gonna use everything, you're gonna have to leave it better than what you found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They're pretty fair rules, if you ask me.
Thanks.
Okay. What is your favorite utensil or piece of equipment in your kitchen?
Ooh, good question. Mm, I really like my microplane.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I've used other ones, and I don't know if I got one that is very smooth, but other ones I feel like they kind of like destroy too much the
Yeah.
skin of the citrus. And then the other, well, I recently got into the world of air fryers, and
Yeah.
that
They're
is,
handy to have in the kitchen, right?
yeah, that's a big game changer.
Yeah.
I use it
Because
pretty much every day.
that's good. It's good.
Yeah, and wooden
Uh,
spoons. Wooden spoons.
Yes,
My grandma had two jars of wooden spoons, one for savory and one for sweets.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and the
She-
sweets one had in the handle a little D for dulce.
Oh, dulce, of
So you
course.
needed to, yeah.
That makes sense, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
so that
cool.
way you wouldn't even think of putting in a spoon that had a light tinted of raspberry jam to, stir like the mashed
Yeah.
potatoes, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Question that's, this is quite a popular question. What is your last meal?
My last meal, the last meal that I had today, or the last meal that
No,
when I'm
your
gonna have when I die?
ever, ever. Like, just say you had a last meal. What would be on the table?
That's good. I think pasta.
Mm.
Pasta, because like if I know that I'm dying, I want to die with a smile.
Oh, absolutely.
And pasta makes you smile from within. Like
Oh,
it will
yeah, it's
probably be like either an amazing bucatini alla carbonara
mm,
or un pappardelle al sugo di coniglio.
mm. What's that one? I haven't heard of that one before.
That one is with rabbit, like a rabbit ragu. So pappardelle
Ooh,
with rabbit ragu. Something like that. Something that if I'm going
yeah,
down, I'm gonna be like, yeah, take me right
yeah.
there.
That's a
Yeah,
big
take
hug
me.
right there, right?
And
Mm,
and and for dessert, this would be like completely different, but sticky rice and mango.
yum.
Sticky rice and mango. Yes.
Yes, that
Oh
sounds
my God.
delicious. Yeah.
Yep. What am I drinking for my last meal? Cider, Chilean
Hmm.
cider for sure.
Okay.
Specifically, this my favorite brand of cider that they make here in Valdivia from like heirloom apples.
Mm.
It's the cider maker. The cider is called Punta de Fierro, which is named after a type of apple that is called Punta
Hmm.
de Fierro. And I will be probably having one bottle for aperitivo of Candelaria, one bottle of Puchacay to continue for after dinner, and in between, I would have a bottle of. Please note that I'm saying all bottles because if
Yeah,
I'm dying, who cares if I'm in heaven?
exactly.
We're in heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's a really good last meal. I like that. Okay. Do you have a foodie dream? And if you do, what is it? What are you dreaming about?
A foodie dream.
Sounds like you're living a foodie dream, like at the lodge and
Sort of,
cooking and creating.
yeah. I think probably maybe get people who live in Chile of what we have. Like I want
Mm,
people to eat more fish.
yeah,
I want people to eat more seafood on the regular
yeah,
basis. I
absolutely.
think that would make me feel accomplished and happy because I
Wow.
know of the impact that that would do in future generations if we establish it as like the Chilean diet. What do Chileans
Yeah,
eat?
yeah,
They eat seafood. Like
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I think that for me it will be targeting two things: the sustainability, so that it can be continued doing throughout, like be part of all culture. Like I said, the Chilean
Hmm.
diet. Like this is what we eat, and this is what we will be eating for the
Hmm.
rest of our lives because we have this huge coastline and we need to
Yep.
take advantage of that in a good way, in a safe way, but also the to aim for kids. We have the highest, I think, the highest level of child obesity in Latin America, in Chile. Yeah, and this is very just mind blowing because in the 70s we were the lead country in malnourished children in Latin America. So within 40 years, we went from one extreme to the other one.
Right.
And this one, the obesity, can be much harder to fight in an era of instant gratification, instant
Yeah,
deliveries,
absolutely.
where, you know, that I think that changing that mindset the biggest goal, because the minute that we get those omega-3s into kids' brains
Yeah.
and we support that with the better education plan, oh my God, we're saved.
That
We're
sounds like
saved.
a that sounds like a brilliant dream. I mean,
I, yeah.
yeah, it's a big issue. That's a really cool dream to have. I love it. Yeah,
Thanks.
love it. Okay. All right, last question.
Okay.
What is something that you've learnt from working in a kitchen, cooking, being around food, like a lesson that you've taken into everyday life?
The perishability.
Okay.
The perishability of the two main things that we use in kitchens: the produce, the food, and the people. Because people rot in their positions too.
Mm.
Like, people get burnt out very,
Oh, absolutely.
very often. Not that easily, because to be burnt out in the kitchen, you probably took years and years of taking all those hits in different directions. You don't rot as fast as spinach in your fridge, but you do
Mm.
rot. So
Yeah.
that makes you perishable. And that is something that, when you're in control of the kitchen, you need to be able to control the perishability of those two things,
Wow,
making
that's
making
really
them last.
interesting.
You need to take care of both things. You need to take care of how wilted you're letting your lettuce get in your fridge, and how burnt out you're letting your teammates get in within the kitchen premises. Um, that has anything to do with you. Whatever happens outside, like, I
Yeah.
mean, people, but while you're in the kitchen and you're in charge of the kitchen, you should be able to provide a safe environment, an engagement, a challenging environment that
Yeah.
keeps this person fresh as a lettuce the first day you bought it.
I've never thought about it like that because, yeah, I in my cooking journey and in my career, I did get burnt out because, kitchens are synonymous with burnout, with mental health, with addiction and all that sort of thing. And wow, that's a really cool perspective, and I've never thought about it like that. Wow.
Thanks. I was a wilted lettuce many
Yeah.
times in the back of the produce drawer in several fridges.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And I think, mental health in the kitchen and is really important to keep on top of and asking for help if you need it, obviously.
yeah. That was a very big thing also that I encountered in throughout my kitchen journey, my cooking journey, in Chile and in the States.
Yeah, definitely. I worked for a couple of years as head chef in a health retreat. It was a mental health retreat, and some of the biggest sort of group of people were people in kitchens, chefs. They were,
People in service industry,
service industry.
bartenders, servers.
Yep, yep. The days are long. It's hot. It's stressful. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you want to aim to be like a beautiful, crisp piece of lettuce and not a wilted one, right?
Yes, I am
Yes.
crisp lettuce,
That is
cucumber.
good to hear. That is good to
Yes.
hear. So you were telling me that Huiro Lodge is open all year round, and it's an interesting experience at winter time because you can experience lots of storm weather just from the dome accommodation that you have there, right?
Yes, so actually that's why we decided to have this shape of buildings for the lodge, because the geodesic domes are meant to withstand strong storms, strong winds. So you do get a little bit of, oh my God, the fear of, like,
Yeah.
are we gonna be, are we gonna be
Right
safe? But you
away.
are gonna be 100%. You're gonna be safe. But
Yeah,
you
wow.
feel like it's like an immersive experience of being inside a tornado.
Hi, it's just Mel here. You're probably wondering what's gone on the episode here.
As you could probably tell throughout the episode, the sound on my end especially was not very good. So what happened is at the end of the episode, I had a big problem with my audio, and I wasn't able to use the end of the recording. So I am going to finish off the episode with just me, unfortunately, without our beautiful Steph. So we were talking about the beautiful lodge down there in southern Chile, Huiro Lodge. I think I got that wrong, but please, I will put all the links in the show notes on how you can book a beautiful eco dome there at the lodge and taste some of Steph's beautiful cuisine there. On August 7th, they are hosting a beautiful Japanese cooking class. It's going to be run by a Japanese chef, Jin Sin Yu. I hope I have pronounced that right as well. So if you'd like to get more information about that or book, because there are spots still available, just contact them on the website or through Instagram. I'll have all those notes in the show notes. So again, I am learning this whole new world of podcasting. I now have a microphone that will work. I have a little bit better lighting. And hopefully, as I learn and I grow in the world of podcasting, things will get a bit better quality. But I think, mistakes, we all learn from mistakes. And if you've made it this far in this episode, thank you so much for hanging on and staying the course. So episode 3 will be coming out soon. I want to thank you all so much for listening and for being here for the journey of our beautiful food stories and the beautiful guests that we have on here. So yeah, we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.